Was goody, was goody, was goody team. Welcome to tonight's isolation session for August 14th, 2025. The final isolation session for the week. Again, Fridays we don't do the isolation sessions, but tomorrow morning we will have our trading session. So we have this session, and then we have tomorrow's trading session in the morning. Again, Fridays I usually don't really trade. However, since it has been a very, very, very slow week for us, um, I'm going to do the same thing, right? Look at the chart, see if there's anything really that looks good. What the heck? Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, guys. Um, and yeah, we'll go over that. We'll give everybody till 7:10. We'll give everybody another 3 minutes to join, and then we will get started. Any questions in the meantime? Any pairs you guys want me to look at in specific, whether or not they're on our list? The ones that we're going to be going over are the ones that you see with the red folder or the red flag next to their name, starting off with AUD/USD, finishing off with US oil. We will be going in order from the top to the bottom. Any trades that you guys took that you want me to go over, any questions about anything, any breakdowns you want me to do, let me know. Again, if not, at 7:10 we'll get started since this is the final session for the week. Again, we already know what we're looking at on the daily and the 4-hour time frame, so we'll just go ahead and go to the 30-minute. We'll update our 30-minute charts, see if there's any continuations, anything to really look at, and then we will go on from there. So it should be a pretty quick session for tonight. What's good, Muhammad? Chillin', my brother, chillin'. Can't complain. Been playing chess all day today. I had a little fixation about it. I started playing it about like 2, 3 days ago, and I was really bad at it. And I'm like, nah, bro, there's no fucking way I'm bad at chess. Cause it's the same thing as trading. It's the same thing as even gaming, competing. And yeah, I'm a fucking beast at that shit now. I'm not gonna say I'm a beast, but I'm fucking. I did a tournament this morning. Huh, dude, that was crazy. That tournament was fun. I didn't do really good, but I did fairly good. Like people were like, "Damn, bro, you only have like you just started playing fucking chess," and I'm like, "Yeah, I got 2 days on my belt. I was going crazy." How you doing? You feel it? But I'm doing good. Yeah, I can't complain. I had a headache yesterday and like before yesterday, but I'm feeling good though. Yeah, bro, I've been grinding. I don't like being bad at stuff. That's my problem. It's like it happens to me with everything. Like for example, I played Battlefield last week, the open beta. Fucking first game on, I got shit on. I'm like, wow, I'm bad at this game, and I fucking went to the firing range, did what I had to do, shot at that shit for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, learned the mechanics of the game, and now I hop on Battlefield, and I'm fucking disgusting. That's just how I am, bro. I don't know. That's how I am with everything. Like same thing with trading, bro. Like trading, when I locked in on trading, again, I mean, you guys see it now on a day-to-day basis. It's just I'm not when I really like doing something and it's something that takes skill and passion, I like to kind of I like to overdo it, man. I don't like being bad at stuff. So, that's my problem. Crazy you haven't played it before? Yeah, no, it was funny cuz like I always say like even in school, right? High school, middle school. I think high school, not really middle school. But like, there's chess clubs and stuff like that. And I would always be fucking like chess, that shit's for nerds. But it's funny because I really didn't realize what chess really was until a couple days ago. To me, I always just kind of ignored it, like, oh, it's just a boring ass game. But now once I really sat there and understood the game, I'm like, yo, hold on, this shit's crazy. So yeah, I like chess now. I've telling you, bro, I've been playing that shit all day today since like 6 a.m. I woke up, played chess, fucking brushed my, I brushed my teeth, came back, did the session in the morning. As soon as I turned the session off, went back on chess, and I've just been playing it all day. That tournament lasted like an hour and a half. What's good, Mr. Albert? Welcome, my brother. Um, Damn, I did say I'll give everybody till 7:10. It's 7:12. We've just been talking here. So I'll give everybody till 7:15, another 3 minutes, and then we'll get started. I know E's landing today, not here in Miami. He's going to New York. He was supposed to come to Miami. I don't know what happened. He texted me, or he called me the other day. He's like, yo, you gonna pick me up, bro? I'm like, yeah, I got you. Then I texted him this morning. He's like, oh, no, I'm not fucking going to Miami. Like, alright. Whatever. You don't fuck with me. You could have just said that. Damn, bro, how do a mosquito fucking just bit the hell out of me? I don't even see it in time. The thing is, I don't even think it was a mosquito because it had, oh, what happened? I don't know, that was a weird animal bite that I just got. I'll have to go put rubbing alcohol on it later. It's fun, bro. You always gotta be a couple steps ahead of you. 1v1 this weekend, let's do it. Let me know whenever you're on. You'll probably shit on me though. I don't wanna hype myself up. Again, I just started playing, so it's not like, there's been a couple openings I've been practicing. There's one in specific that I really like. It's like the D4 opening, or D4 E4, right? I really like that opening. But that's the only one that I've been practicing the most, and I've been kind of getting the hang of it. But I've noticed that if you do that play or that opening against somebody who understands that opening, it could really bite you in the ass. So I have to learn a few more openings, so I'm not gonna lie. But yo, Kendall, you hilarious, bro. Um, nah, I haven't played in a while. I want to say 2 years last time I played, but alright. We'll play this weekend then for sure. Alright guys, since no questions in the chat, let me check Discord as well, see if there's any questions in the Discord before I get started. Discord, we are good. Okay. So again, since this is the final isolation session for the week, and again, Fridays I typically don't really trade, we're gonna go ahead and just update this on the 30-minute time frame, and then we'll go on from there. So AU, we know that we're in an overall downtrend, right? We know that price had given us higher high, higher low, higher high, right? I'm not going to say on the 30-minute time frame that we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, right? All of this is part of the same trend, right? Higher high, higher low, right? All of this is part of the same trend, right? We know that price gave us the inducement of the high. After the inducement, it gave us the lower lows, lower highs to continue back down to the bottom of the zone. So again, for AU, just going to be patient. Overall, we know that we're looking for price to give us a steeper pullback back to the top side. So for now, just going to wait this out, and we'll update the rest during the weekly market breakdown on Sunday, and we'll go on from there. AUD CAD, we know that again, we're in an overall downtrend as well. We're at the top of the zone of consolidation, right? Again, if we just go to ACAD, we're on the, lower time frame zone of consolidation, right? The 4-hour, where price has been rejecting highs and rejecting lows this entire time. And we can see on the 30-minute, price had given us another inducement, right? Another rejection of the highs, and went right back down to the bottom again. So once again, ACAD is a pair that I am expecting price to go down, but the fact that we're still at the bottom of the zone of consolidation, just going to be patient. On the 30-minute time frame, we had higher high, higher low, higher high. After this higher high, price just consolidated, and then price for today, right? We could just see that it gave us another inducement, right? Price tapped into it once already, came back down, tapped into it again, you know, could we sit here and say that this is where price gave us, you know, again, we had the retest, right? The inducement, higher high, higher low, gave us another inducement, higher high. Could we say that this is where price is going to start giving us a change of character back down to the bottom? I'm only going to say that, right? And we'll mark it here. I'm only going to say that this is the change of character. We'll change this to red. If price, either tomorrow or on the market open for next week, if price does something like this and gives us a break and breaks below the 800 EMA, that's the only way I'll change this to say that we're back on a downtrend to go back down to the bottom of the zone of consolidation. My bad, give me 1 second. What was that noise? Anyway, so ACAD, yep, that's what I'll be waiting for. So right now, just going to leave this as it is right now. Again, once price gives us this break, if price gives us a break below these lows, then we know for sure price is going to go back down to the bottom. So we'll have enough room going into next week to, again, just continue to trade the zone that we're in, right? Where price is rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, going back down to the bottom. Y'all still getting bombed? Yeah, do you hear it actually? Yeah, it just started thundering again, like literally like 10 minutes ago. But this time it is dark outside compared to yesterday, bro. Shit was crazy yesterday. It was thundering, but it was blue skies yesterday. At least today it's dark out. Euro AUD, we know that we're still trapped in the zone of consolidation again, where price rejected lows, rejected highs, rejected lows, rejected highs, reject lows, reject highs the entire time. So EA, I know that right now I'm not really going to be trading it. Once again, we're at the top of the zone of consolidation. The only place or the only way I'll take a trade here is if we get a valid break or retest to then continue. If not, we'll continue to look for these trades at the bottom, right? The same way that we did last week on Wednesday, right? The same way that it did at the beginning of this week, going in from Monday and Tuesday, gave us a beautiful entry after the inducement of the low. But again, the entry was very, very early. It happened at 1 in the morning. Same thing that happened today, right? The entry again was at 1 in the morning after the inducement, gave us a nice little push back to the top side. So, gonna be patient. Again, there's no rush. We already know what we're looking for. EuroCAD is in peak high, so I'm not going to be trading this, just going to be updating it. We had 2 days of rise. Again, we're in peak high territory, so rules do not need to be followed, and price went down. Euro USD, still on an uptrend. Again, Euro USD, as I was saying yesterday with these drawings, very low probability. The reason why, even though we had a 372 for the day, why was this low probability? Is because of where we're trading at in the overall structure. What's happening out there? Holy hell, do you guys hear that? We're trading at a higher high. In level 2 on an uptrend, we're trading at a higher high. I am looking for price to give us a steeper pullback back down to the bottom, which we haven't gotten yet. So every entry that's given here, every confirmation that's given here is very low probability. Doesn't matter that price is still uptrending, making higher highs and higher lows. We're trading at a higher high, right? We have a daily engulfing candle. Same thing. Again, everything that you guys see here, every entry confirmation, every entry criteria needs to follow market structure. What does that mean? Again, if you have a double bottom, a double top, a order block, smart money concepts, smart Roger concepts, fucking CRV, Jaguar F-type, whatever it is that you guys are trading, those are entry confirmations, right? Engulfing candles, EMAs, whatever it is that you guys trade, right? Flag post patterns, harmonic patterns. All of these things are entry confirmations. Now, what's the difference between entry confirmations and market structure? And we'll explain this again one more time. If we're trading higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? And at the higher high, price gives you a double bottom. A lot of people will take this trade thinking, oh, it's a double bottom, we're going to continue. But the problem is that you took a trade at a higher high. You have to wait for price to give you that higher low. And at the higher low, once you get that double bottom, that's when you take the trade, right? Vice versa when you're making lower lows and lower highs. Same thing when you're in a zone of consolidation. If you're in a zone of consolidation, where are you looking to take buy positions? Are you going to take buy positions at the top of the zone of consolidation? Or are you going to take buy positions at the bottom? The only way you take buy positions at the top is if price gives you a break and a retest to then continue. And vice versa for the shorts. Are you going to be looking for short positions at the bottom of the zone of consolidation or at the top? The only way you'll take short positions at the bottom of the zone of consolidation is if price gives you a break and a retest to then continue back down to the bottom. Right? So make sure you guys write that down. Again, we go over this every single day on the stream, so it's nothing new. But I always know there's a handful of you guys that just say, oh, I'm going to remember that, and I'm not going to write nothing down. Alright, let's see how that goes when you're back on the charts and trading. You're going to be making the same fucking mistakes over and over again. So it's the same thing with this daily engulfing candle, right? We already know this daily engulfing candle is very low probability because we're trading at a higher high on the overall time frame, right? So regardless, going to keep it on the screen. Go on to the next one. GA gave us a nice little break retest to then continue back to the top side for a 372. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Gave us another 3 days of rise. After 3 days of rise, the market must go down or move sideways. And we know now that we're trading higher high, higher low. This higher low down here. And these higher highs up here. It's like the same thing. What was the example yesterday that I was given on stream? But I forgot who it was that asked the question. Was it that same example? The shit with the structure and when to get in and shit? I feel like it was. Ow, something bit me. Fucking assholes. Ow. My bad, give me a second. Something just bit my foot. Man. Alright, so yeah, GA already gave us 3 days. Gonna wait it out. GCAD gave us 3 days. After 3 days, the market must move sideways or go down, and we ended up moving sideways. But we did finish on a day of rise here. We did move sideways, but the opening candle did close up, or it did open above. So technically speaking, it is another day of rise. But it's all good. Price is doing exactly what it needs to do. And I believe GCAD's in PKI territory as well. GJ, higher high, higher low. Again, same thing as AU. I'm not going to mark this as higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, right? All of this is part of the same structure here. So I'm just going to mark this as these highs up here. Right, all of this is part of the same trend. And then we ended up, right, let's delete these drawings from last night. We ended up finishing on a day of drop, which is perfect. And I am going to go to the 4-hour time frame because we're trading on the 4-hour highs, where again I'm expecting price to give us either the break of these highs to then continue, or we're going to see price do what it did the last 10 million times that we've been in these highs, give us the inducement of the high to then go back down. So we're still waiting for these candles to print, right? On the 4-hour at least, and on the 30-minute we do have exhaustion candles at the high. So we just got to be patient. Once price starts pushing down, that's when we'll start looking to get into these trades. Right now price is just kind of in a little zone of consolidation, so just trapping traders left and right. So we'll be patient with GJ, not in no rush with that one. For GU, we had 2 days of rise, today being the 3rd day. Price gave us a 3rd day push. Right after the 3rd day push, it gave us a rise drop. Could we expect price to give us a 4th day push to the top side? Would love to see it. But very similar to EU, structurally we're trading at a higher high. Right, we're trading in level 2, on level 2 on an uptrend. We're still expecting price to give us a steep pullback back down to the bottom. But I'm also not really expecting a 4th day push, because of the fact that price gave us a very steep pullback towards the end of the day. However, this does look good. I will say that. Why? Because this could be a type 1 pattern on an uptrend, where price consolidates, breaks, gives us a double bottom, push 1, push 2, push 3 back to the top side. We're in level 2 where we're looking for price bounce off the 200 EMA, and that's exactly where we're at right now. So going to keep a very close eye on GU. Very, very close eye on GU. Again, am I expecting price to go up? Not really, but structurally right now it is looking good. For NZD USD, we know that we're in an overall downtrend, but we're at the bottom of the zone of consolidation, and price gave us a change of character. It gave us a break of structure to the top side, and then price went down and gave us a change of character back down to the bottom. And again, this is a pair that's moving counter trend on an uptrend, which is why we're not seeing these uptrends happen. The rules are not being followed for the uptrend because we're not in an uptrend, right? So going to be patient. We had 2 days of rise. Look how bad they just trapped all the traders though. They gave you a change, they gave you a break. At the break, it gave you 2 days of rise, it gave you a nice retest. How many traders you think were trapped into this? How many traders you thought were like, oh, we got a break, this is gonna be a nice retest to continue back? Straight to fucking stop loss. It don't matter what type of trader you are. Swing trader, day trader, scalper, all your stop losses were hit. And again, reason number a million why I don't trade counter trend. See, as we said that the bombs were falling, huge ass thunder just fell right behind the house here, behind the lake. And now it just started pouring all of a sudden. Like pouring. Gonna be patient with NU. Damn. US 30 open up with a fat gap. Alright, let me clean up this chart real quick. I don't like having so much stuff here. Damn, man, I am getting bit by mosquitoes. We had 2 days of rise on the third day, which was today. Gave us that third day push. Perfect. After 3 days of rise, the market must move sideways or go down, but we do have gaps in the market that reset the trend. So we're going to be patient. Again, US 30 could do whatever the fuck it wants to do. That's the craziest thing, is that US 30 could really just do whatever it wants to do, right? Ended up giving us that type 1 pattern for today. Ended up giving us the inducement of the low. You know, after the news and everything else, that's when the move really started to happen. And that's okay. Let's take a look though. Let's see if we would have stayed on the charts after 10:30, would we have gotten an entry? And let's see. Nothing on the 30, nothing on the 15, nothing on the 15, nothing on the 1. On the 5-minute time frame, no engulfing candles, right? But what we do have is the crosses of the EMAs, right? The double bottom, the retest, right? We at least did have that. Now if we go down to the 1-minute time frame, when we look at structure, did we have anything that was enticing? We had lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Boom, we already knew this was the inducement, right? Because nothing was making sense here. The EMAs, all of that, etc., etc. Right? This is where we gave up on the trade. We didn't take nothing, right? Then price came back down. It would have hit stop loss if we would have gotten into the trade at the time that we were looking at the chart, right? And then price came down. It gave you lower low, lower high, lower low. Perfect, right? After these lower lows were set, start looking for those engulfing candles, right? Did we get an engulfing candle? Nothing here. Okay, cool. What did we get instead? We got a change of character, right? Boom, higher high. All of this is part of the same structure, right? Boom, higher high, higher low. We were looking for a break of structure. We ended up getting the break. We got the retest, right? We know that earlier, what we were looking for here, which was the crosses of the 50 and the 200, the 50 to go above the 200, we ended up getting it here after the change of character, right? We know that we had the 800 EMA as well. We had the break of structure, right? The break of structure happened here. We got the retest right on the 800. Perfect. This gave us beautiful entries here. So that definitely would have been a little trade to take back to the top side. Did we have any engulfing candles? No. But we would have just had the entries off of the simple break of structure retest. Give me a second. My bad. Danny called me, man. Every time he called me, though, I'm always doing some shit. I feel bad, yo. Cause I really am that friend, bro. I don't call nobody. If you don't call me, nobody knows about me. So I feel bad. He always calls me when I'm doing some shit though, and I'm like, yo, I can't. I can't ignore his call right now. I'll feel too bad. Anyway, so at least we got the change, we got the break, we got the crosses of the EMAs, which we were looking at earlier, which we never got, which is why these entry criteria that we had down here never were really good. Even though we had engulfing candles here at these lows, the only thing that was really missing was the EMA crosses. Those EMA crosses never lie. Never lie. Again, this is years and years and years of data, of backtesting. Telling you guys, once you use these EMAs correctly, the shits never fucking lie. So, yeah, on the 1 minute, we would have had a nice little clean entry if we would have stayed on the chart. But it's all good, right? It would have been a nice little type 1 pattern again where price consolidates, breaks, gives you a double bottom, and then continues the trend back to the top side. So, really was a pretty good trade to have taken if we would have been on the chart. The question is, would STP been hit? I don't remember what STP was for today. And it already updated. I think it was like 3 something, right? I don't remember what STP was for US30 for today. I don't know why I don't have it on screen. But anyway, I'm sure it would have been hit. I'm not 100%. ADR was 507. Oh, ADR for the day was 507. So 507 minus 33% is 339. Yeah, it would have hit STP. 339. Yeah, it would have hit STP at the end of the day. Would have been perfect. That would have been a real good trade. All good. USD CAD. That's another thing too, right? When we're looking at the correlations of different pairs, especially right now with all the news going on, everything that's happening, again, not only in the US but worldwide. Again, like we know that a lot of pairs move differently, right? But also a lot of other pairs follow the correlations. A pair like US30 and USD CAD, they move opposite, and the fact that they're moving the same is very odd, right? Same thing with USDZAR, right? Same thing with gold. When you're looking at gold, like gold and US30 move opposite, right? And it's looking good, right? Gold is moving opposite, but again, gold usually does the same or very similar to USD CAD and USD ZAR, right? Also, when we're looking at GJ, right? GJ is another pair that in correlation with gold, they usually move pretty similar too. So a lot of these pairs, again, it's not just one pair across the board. No, it's a lot of these pairs that usually follow each other are doing stuff completely different. And that's okay. It happens. Again, we understand that in market conditions like the ones that we've been in since November of last year, it's going to happen. But again, you just got to follow the rules. If your rules aren't being followed on the chart, you can't take a trade. It's really there's nothing more to that. Right? Again, to go back to gold, because I know a lot of people love trading gold, right? Gold, we're in a huge zone of consolidation, not only on the lower time frame, but we're in a zone of consolidation overall, where we just zoom out on the 30-minute time frame. You can see that we're stuck in a zone of consolidation, just moving sideways. Rejection of the highs and the lows, and we're just in a zone of consolidation, right? And within the zone of consolidation, we have smaller time frame zones of consolidation, which in this case right now in the 30-minute time frame, we're stuck in a zone of consolidation. Where again, let's go ahead and redraw this and get at this shit all out of the screen. This was all the same thing that we talked about yesterday. Right? Alright, let me do this. I don't know why I'm making my life harder. Right? We are trapped. We want to see price break these highs, which we could see that price never broke, always gave us the inducement. And we're looking for price to break these lows down here, which we could see that price has not done that yet. We've just been getting the inducements, right? And we know that we're trapped in these zones of consolidation. From the high to the top, from the high to the bottom, right? From the high to the low, whatever it is. ADR was, oh yeah, I read that already. Right, so gold, I'm not really going to be trading it. Right, I'll look at it in the morning, but not really going to be actively trading it. Bitcoin's another one that I'm not really going to be actively trading just yet. And then US oil, man. We know that oil, same example that we were given out earlier, guys. Right, why did these trades not work out? Why was I not looking for these trades? Oh, but we have 2 days of drop. Oh, aren't you supposed to be looking for 372? So you're lying. The 372 doesn't work because look, it didn't give you a third day. Again, have to follow the rules of market structure. I could teach you entry criterias. I could tell you and sell you on 10 million different entry criterias. But why didn't this work out? Let's go over it. Yeah, there's nothing new. It's not in hindsight. We talked about it last night, literally before we even fucking went in the morning to trade live. We talked about it during the market breakdown, the isolation session. Last night, yesterday, literally 12 hours ago. Sorry, 24 hours ago. We talked about why this is a low probability entry. You have to keep an eye on market structure. The fact that price was consolidating. And it gave us the break of structure. What does this make this? We're trading at a lower low. Right? Again, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We were trading here. Am I going to be looking for a setup at a lower low to go short, or am I going to be expecting price to give us a lower high to then go back down to the bottom? Aside from that, 4-hour time frame, what did the market print? Exhaustion candle. After this exhaustion candle was printed, and we'll highlight it here and then go back to the 30s so you guys can see this is not hindsight. Like, we talked about this literally 24 hours ago. Once we saw on the 4-hour time frame last night when we were doing the isolation session, what did we say? 4-hour time frame, we're trading at a lower low. We have an exhaustion candle. We know that this is not going to give us. It's very low possibility that price is going to give us that push because we already are trading at a lower low and we're trading after price gave us an exhaustion candle. Right, so just understanding those two things, understanding candlestick analysis and market structure allowed us to not get into a bullshit trade. Because again, it would have been very simple to say, oh my god, look, price has been consolidating. We're rejecting these highs. Price, we're going to go short. And yeah, you might have been in profit for a few seconds and then, woo, straight to stop loss. Right? I'm not here to babysit a trade. When I take a trade, I want to be able to place my stop loss, place my TP, and get off the charts. And that's it. Because I know my TP is going to be hit. I know my TP is going to be hit 100% of the time, every single time. Every single time. It's not a gamble. I know when my TPs are going to be hit. And every time I enter a trade, I know my TPs are going to be hit. Now, if I take a bullshit trade that I know is just going to be a pullback, different story, right? Same thing that happened with gold yesterday. But in that case, you have to babysit the trade. So that was pretty much it, guys. Any questions, let me know. Any other chart you want me to go over real quick before we finish for the night, let me know. If not, then that'll be it for tonight. We'll be back again tomorrow morning for the live trading session. And then once again, tomorrow we do not have an isolation session. It's Friday. After the live trading session, take it easy, close the charts, and come back on Sunday for the weekly market breakdown. Update our charts for Sunday, and then we'll be back again Monday morning for the live trading session. Again, any questions, let me know. Anything else you want me to talk about? Anything else you want me to to explain, let me know. Check your DM. I got you, Albert. Sorry. I don't even know if you guys can hear me now. I think I broke my mic. I don't know if you guys heard that. But that is my bad. Damn. Okay, so this was yesterday. We talked about that yesterday. Okay. Take a look if I mark the correct daytime AD price not break below the first lower low, so have it as up. AD cat. So no, even though price didn't break, like overall, what's the overall move? Like overall, we know that we're on a downtrend. So every single time frame is still down, right? But you're not wrong though. Like since price never gave us a clean break, we're still trapped in the zone of consolidation. But you would still mark it. You would still mark the daily time frame as downtrend. You would just have to be aware, like, okay, we're still on a downtrend, but we're still in a zone of consolidation. So we're not really uptrending either. Like we're not on an uptrend because again, obviously the overall move is still down. You would just have to take note that price never gave us a clean break of the lows yet. But we could see every single other time frame, right? Lower low and lower high the entire time. But everything else is good. Yeah, the way you have it marked is beautiful. We can hear you. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened with my mic. But let me know if that made sense. He said good monkey. Alright, Kando. Any other questions, guys? Let me know. Give you another minute. Anything else at all? Let me know. Oh, man. Oh, little monkey jumping on the bed. One fell off and bumped his head. Mama called the doctor and the doctor said, no more monkeys jumping on the bed. Agabrar, Muhammad. Have a good rest of your night, my brother. Thank you, and I think you need an electric mosquito trap. But I have one. I have one in the garage. The problem is that where I moved to is like literally in the middle of nowhere. It's just wilderness. And I think about it. The first week that I was here, there was like just so many, like a lot of bees and wasps, and I think we even had black widows in the garage, and I don't know. Luckily, the wasps just kind of left. They built like a nest in front of the door, the main door for the house, and like 2 days later, they just I guess they didn't like it. They built their fucking nest there and they just left it. They abandoned it. I'm like, damn, we're that bad of neighbors that even the wasps just don't want to live here. Um, but yeah, man. But I do have a mosquito trap, like a blue light, in the garage. Usually they're not in the room, but it has been like in the house. But it's been raining a lot here, so you know, middle of the fucking swamp in Florida. You know how that goes. Like, as soon as you open up that door, there's a mosquito coming in. So it's all good. in years. Embrace that nature? Nah, bro. Nature gotta embrace me, man. I'll put you in a mosquito trap. Alright, guys. Have a good rest of your night. We'll see you all tomorrow morning. Again, if you guys have any other questions, let me know. You guys could always hit me up on Discord or join the Discord and leave the questions in the server. Peace out, guys. Shit, oh, bro. I saw the question. Yeah. I mean, compared to South Florida, yeah, it's think about it, 5 bedroom, right? 5 beds, yeah, for fucking half of what it was in Miami. So it's definitely a lot more affordable. It's quieter too. Pretty much, it's a brand new construction, brand new neighborhood. So it was worth it. Living in Miami is not it, bro. You got annoying ass people, traffic all day. Bad vibes down there, bro. I've lived there for enough time. But alright, guys, peace out. See y'all tomorrow morning. I'm moving in 33% split of rent. Alright, market maker. I'll show you a 33%.